Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode here with your host, Chad. And before we dive into today's topic, just a general reminder about the previous episodes. Right now I'm traveling through Asia, so if sometimes the sound quality is not the best, it's because I'm recording with my phone while being in homestays or hotels or at friends' places. So a small apology here, but yeah, it's because I'm going around. And this is why I have great stories also. And today I have a great story with me. I'm with my friend Melecio in the Philippines, in Manila. You have to correct me if I just pronounced that wrong. But
Get it correct.
yeah, okay, great. And we were today in, well, is it still considered Metro Manila where we
Yes,
were? So we
it's
were in Metro Manila area, and Manila is a super big city. I underestimated the size, but it's, you said 15 million, right?
yes.
Yes, and so we went around. We wanted to go to the south to Tagaytay, which is a scenic area with mountains, hills, forestry. But we had
An
some
active with an active
and
volcano.
with an active volcano. But we had like a technical problem with the motorbike. So maybe another time. But now we're sitting here and we are prepared for an amazing episode because Melecio, he has also his own podcast. He can talk about it later, and he is quite well diversified with the things he does. He is a teacher, but he is also someone who's socially quite active. And yeah, I don't want to introduce too much. Melecio, just give us a brief introduction about who Melecio is and what you people want to see about yourself, maybe, and just shoot.
All right. Thank you so much, Chad, for that warm introduction. And it's so great to know that you have a podcast. And thank you so much for inviting me to be part of your program with your podcast channel. And by the way, to those who are listening, my name is Melecio. I was born in a remote area in the Philippines, specifically in La Carlota City, Negros Occidental. It's in the western region in the Philippines. It's West Visayas region in the Philippines.
So Western is like still the same island we are on with Manila, right?
No,
No,
no.
it's a
Manila
different.
is in Luzon.
Okay, the zone,
Luzon.
Lazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's in Luzon.
So how far is that place where you were raised?
By boat, it's more than a day,
Yeah.
like 24 hours or more than 24 hours. But by plane, it's an hour
Okay.
flight.
So it's 500 kilometers, 600.
I don't know. I can't
Yeah, I think
measure it
planes fly with 600 or 700 kilometers per hour. I think, but that's
your estimation.
my estimation from what I'm trying to remember. Okay, but sorry about the interruption because usually I forget later or we're too far in the episode. This is why I stopped you. You can continue from your
Yeah.
village.
Okay, don't worry. So I have 11 siblings. So I have a big family. So I was able to finish my education by my own means. I worked as a housekeeper, as a caregiver, and I was able to finish high school and college throughout my works without the assistance of my parents because we were very, very poor. So I had to work in order for me to get a degree. Because in the Philippines, there is a mentality that, they say that poverty is the hindrance to success. And it's not a hindrance to success, but I can testify that poverty is really a hindrance to success. Because you cannot get a good education if you don't have money to pay for your education. Even though I studied in a state university where there was a tuition fee, but then you have to spend for your daily basis. So it's kind of challenging for me. And now I finished my education with my master's and ongoing with my doctorate in education. Uh, for more than 11 years, in teaching in I've been teaching English language, and also journalism. I started my. I already shared to Chad that I have this outreach program or community outreach program. It's a social cause where I discovered that I have this purpose or calling in reaching out people because I just really want to get to give back what I received, what I experienced, even though I really had to work hard for me to get an education. But then in return, I just want to give back what I have now, even though I'm not that let's say financially like
Stable.
stable, but then I continue doing a lot of outreach programs because I know what it feels to have nothing. So for now, I have this program which is Alternative Learning System in the Department of Education in the Philippines, where I cater adult learners. These learners did not finish education at their like age level. Like for example, for now, I am catering my oldest learner who is 63 years old. So, and when you get to hear their stories, you will get emotional or you will get in touch. It's because the reason why they want to finish education is because they still have do dreams in life. They really want to get a good job even though they are 60 years old because they believe that.
Like it just sorry to make a pause. Like yeah, it just reminded me of the story of my mom. She grew up in rural Turkey, and she also has like some siblings. Not as many as you, but
Yeah.
she also has siblings, and they had to work on the fields and farming, like, and the parents couldn't afford to, like, at some point, they couldn't afford to send her to school either. So my mom always, like, she still has, like, this, she had or has, like, this dream of, like, yeah, she wish she could have gone to school. Like, she told me and my brother always, so I really appreciated, like, the chances I was given with school, getting a bachelor's, getting a master's. So I always took it with pride and knowingly what it meant. Yeah, then a small anecdote of based on what you said. I also it resonates with me basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel what your mom experienced in her early years
Yeah.
in life. So, as I continue with what I have said, so 2013, I started my outreach program by during when there is a calamity, catastrophes happen in the Philippines, since Philippines always have this like more than 100 typhoons in a year. So what I do, I raise funds, and like for example, if there is a fire, and then the area get fired out, and then I had to raise funds to give and to help out, and then but with also with the typhoons. So it started there, and then it continues up until now. I went to mountains, to remote areas where they cannot have this a usual help. So like in mountains with experiences that I had to ride with the horses just to get the goods going uphill, or for me to give or distribute the goods. And also when I go to like islands, I also made sure that I have this enough, because you cannot control people when it comes to helping, because there are people that really want to have that kind of help. And then now, as I continue my project, I put up a small business, which is a cafe or coffee shop. Okay, from that business, in 2020, I put up that business because during pandemic, the educational system in the Philippines had greatly affected. So there were learners who were not able to like afford having a data in order for them to join online classes or to get in touch with their teachers. And then it was for me a big like I have this what do you call that one, something that I want to help out. And I tried to look for ways. First, I was able to raise funds, but then it was not enough. So I had to raise funds, and then I had this idea. What if I would put up a small business where I can sustain my support? So this burden unloads through that kind of business. Up until now, I do still have learners who are financially like struggling, like for example, with their daily like daily food, something like that. But that's not like the whole thing. They just need something from school. I have to provide, and I have the means to provide those things because I have this stable income generating project, which is the coffee shop.
So the coffee shop, or not the coffee shop, let's go even before. Like, do you still remember the day when you first had to raise those funds? Was it just a story now, or was there an event before where you had to raise funds?
Yeah, there were actually 2020 when the time I put up my income generating project. But prior to that, in 2020 2013, I had to raise funds since we have social media.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I post on Facebook that there was a typhoon, there was a
yeah,
catastrophe, there was a fire. So if someone can help me out, you can send your
yeah.
donations. And then also, one of the great things that I experienced in helping people, since I met people online through couchsurfing, I also asked them for help. And some of them contributed. And I did not expect that to
And
have that platform.
yeah, small brackets here, like Couchsurfing is a platform that brings together locals and travelers. I have an episode on it, but you can also Google what it is. Brackets closed, and yeah. Um, so first you did crowdsourcing through social media for the funds,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's for the
yeah,
crowdsourcing.
and then later did like for the coffee like project. So how did you do it? Like, did you like gather funds with other teachers, or did you directly go to a bank? How was the setup back then?
Before my coffee shop.
No, no, like how was like the beginnings of the coffee shop project financially? Like,
Ah,
yeah, you know
yeah.
what I mean.
I
Yeah, so
loan.
yeah, like did
Yeah,
you loan from the
yeah.
bank,
I
or
loan
did
from
you
the bank.
from friends, or how did you do it?
I loan from the bank since you have to have a big amount of money for starting a business.
Yeah,
So I started from I loan money, and then from that I was able to raise funds. But then of course I'm still paying for the loan.
mm,
Actually, honestly speaking, but it's fine. It's really fine with me because I can handle
yeah,
it. So with the income that I have, I make sure that this will go to the works, to the outreach programs, to the community outreach programs that I have.
yeah, yeah. So for how long, how many years is the loan that you got? Because it really changes from country to country.
Yeah.
I am asking a lot
So
of questions, but like you can answer as many questions as you want, and not answer when it's too like when you're not allowed to talk about it. It's
yeah,
also fine. You get
yeah.
the
I
point.
loaned
Yeah,
it for 5 years.
yeah.
I have to pay it for 5 years. So
Okay.
I already paid it for, like, since I loaned
Mm,
again because I transferred to a good place.
yeah,
So I loaned again. So I already done paying
yeah,
for a year. So there are more 4 years left
yeah.
for me to pay for the loan, but it is fine with me because it was my personal choice.
Can you get like discounts on loans when you say it's a philanthropic project, basically,
Ah,
or did you not?
no,
No.
no, because for me the idea was, since it's is the idea as
Yeah.
what I said earlier, I just want to give back to the
Mm,
community, and I wish that there is a program for that where I could get a discount, or I
yeah.
could get something, a benefit, like
No.
where I can like lower the amount that I have to pay. But
Yeah.
then no, I loaned it personally. So, and then of course I did not. They didn't ask what is that for, because I loaned it personally. So I invested it for my coffee shop,
Yeah.
and even though I'm paying it for a month,
Yeah.
still I'm happy that the coffee shop is earning, and I'm now saving
Yeah,
for the project.
yeah. It's great though. Like, I mean, the students that you're helping, they can always come to the coffee shop to socialize with you.
Actually, I want to do that, but I don't, because as a
Yeah,
teacher, because I have this mindset. When I enter the class, I never talked about my business
yeah,
because for me, it's a way of corrupting the minds of the children.
yeah, yeah,
You get what I mean? Because once you like
yeah,
you introduce your product to them,
yeah,
there is a mentality. It's in the Philippine setting.
yeah,
Okay, there's a mentality. Once they buy product from me,
yeah.
they're expecting something in return because they are like, you
Okay,
get what I
I
mean?
get what you meant. And
Yeah,
this is exactly what we talked about earlier before recording. Like, don't mix business and pleasure, guys.
yeah. So I don't want, since I do
Yeah,
influence a lot of people around me, like especially with my students, because in my class before I'm handling 10 sections,
yeah,
and then now I have this six, and then now I have three. So totally I have 6 sections. So each section has like 50 students inside the classroom.
section is like a level of
Learners, no,
learning,
a
or no?
section. In a level like for example grade 10,
Yeah.
I'm handling 3 sections. So section 1, section 2, section 3, so times 50, 150. So for grade 11,
So
another one
section is like cohort or what?
room, class,
A class.
class, yeah.
Okay.
Class A, class B, class C.
But they're like from the level, they're the same level,
Yeah,
right?
10
Okay.
level.
Okay.
Yeah. I handled 2 levels,
Yeah.
10th and 11th. So all in all, I have like 300 learners.
Right now.
Yes.
And
So
the program is 2 years, you said, or
no,
no?
the
How long?
program is different
Yeah. Okay.
from my job because I'm a teacher. That's
Yeah.
my job is to teach learners.
Yeah.
It's different from my outreach programs and my
Ah, that
community
was that. Okay.
programs.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
got
I
it. Yeah.
volunteer myself
Yeah.
to teach these learners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to what you said, that if there's a chance for me to to make a marketing strategy for
Mm.
me to get more customers or clients to my business or
Mm.
to my projects, I don't do that because as what I said, it's one way of corrupting the minds of people, of my learners,
Yeah. Yeah.
because my first job or my first task or my responsibility is to just to teach them inside the classroom.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
Just teach them with the lessons without selling something because
Mm.
it's one way of, we are, because for me, we have these young learners because I have this vision that when I
Yeah.
teach, they will become the next great generation
Yeah. Yeah.
leaders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Obviously, I mean, teachers are there to change perspectives, and it's they produce. I make a example of biology. You're giving the fresh blood to the to the system, basically. Like it's they will create innovation in the future, basically, for the country. So I totally get what you mean. I respect teachers a lot. My uncle is one of my uncles. He's a teacher, and yeah, so I know what you're talking about. But like you said, 300 students, basically. So how long do you accompany them as a teacher? Like, do you have them for how many years, or like?
All right. So in a year,
Yeah.
we are handling them every day.
Yeah.
So for 10 months.
Yeah.
So we only have 1 hour a day to teach. So I handle, like for example, for the regular classes in the Philippines
Yeah.
for public schools, we're not referring to
Yeah.
private schools. So teachers has 6 classes. Okay, so in each class, the teacher must teach an hour. So we start at 6 a.m. until 12:30. So that's the setup
Mm.
in the Philippines. And then in general, okay, that's in general, especially in Metro Manila, since it's overcrowded, it's overpopulated. So the classes have 2 shifts: morning class and
Yeah.
afternoon class.
Yeah. So morning class starts at
6
6.
a.m.
Damn, man.
You have to teach at 6 a.m. exactly.
I just texted. No, I'm not surprised. I just texted with someone who was awake at 4 a.m. I was like, "What are you doing at 4 a.m.?" And this person told me, "Prepping for school."
Yeah, that's true. The training in the Philippines when it comes to education, it's totally different. Okay, In other countries, I don't know, they wake up at 7 or 6, they go to school at 7 or 8, and then they have their playgrounds and big backgrounds.
Yeah.
But here in the Philippines, it's just built, especially in metro, just building in a small ground.
Yeah. I mean, like in most countries I know, school starts at 8:30 ish.
Really.
Yeah.
But here
And
it starts at
yeah,
6.
yeah,
But in other places in the Philippines, especially in a remote area
yeah, yeah.
where it's not overcrowded,
Mm.
the classes start at 7.
But the good side is they finish very early. Like if you're in the morning
Yeah, but
cohort,
they become so like
uh,
strenuous or very they it's very tiring.
then they go home and nap basically.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they go to different places to do their projects or
Yeah, yeah.
outputs. This is the education system in the Philippines is
So
far different from other
so
countries.
you meet your students that you teach English. This is the
For
300
5 days.
for 5 days, Monday to Friday, like physical or changing in physical and remote each week.
That's a good question. So during the time of pandemic, we just met online,
Yeah,
and then once the pandemic died down, we had this blended learning.
yeah,
We have this 2 days online, 3 days face to face. Now that the weather is so bad, like the heat index raises to 42 degrees, we have implemented blended learning. So 2 days from 6 a.m. to 12,
yeah,
Mondays and let's say Wednesdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays and
yeah,
Thursdays we have online
yeah,
asynchronous
yeah,
classes.
yeah. Tell me one thing most other countries could learn from the Philippines in terms of education. I bet there's something that's also unique or good that you see as something golden.
For me, it's the character building when it comes to attending class at very early in the morning,
Yeah,
because character is very important when it comes to job. It's one thing that keeps you alive. It keeps you like if you want to really get a good job or if you want to get really promoted, you really have to have this character. So when it comes to the education system in the Philippines, for me, one of the characteristics or one of the characters that I wish that some other countries will get is to have this a very very long consistency when it comes to, because Filipinos are
mm,
well known to being resilient. So resilient in terms of attending class early in the morning.
yeah,
So even though it's quite challenging, it's
yeah,
quite difficult, but then this being resilient can build your character for you to become the best version of
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
when it comes to, for me, it's a training ground.
So would you equate it to being also disciplined, basically, as a
Yeah.
synonym? Yeah, okay. Um, all right. So do you have Monday to Friday? How many hours is it for you weekly? This English program teaching?
Yeah, I have I start at 6, it ends at 12:30. Since I have this supervisory work, I supervise teachers. When they teach, I
Yeah,
always observe
yeah,
if you teach properly. So I have these 2 hours to observe teachers
yeah.
if they teach well. So I work for 8 hours in a day.
Okay, so it's like 40 hours per week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
40 hours per week. And
yeah,
then every Saturday, that's the time when I do my community project, which is the alternative
yeah,
learning system.
yeah,
So our class starts at 7 and it
yeah.
ends at 4.
7 and 4. Man, it's long hours. And
Yeah. So I have that
yeah,
program.
yeah, yeah. And man, like you're doing so many things and you're meeting up with travelers. Like, how do you, like, planning and discipline is important. How do you plan yourself? How do you not stress the hell out? How do you not lose your head? How do you relax?
Okay, first thing that comes to my mind the time you ask that kind of question. I am an organized person. I'm not an organized person. Okay, just to make it clear for
Yeah,
everyone, even though I have this very busy life, but then I'm still an organized
yeah,
person. But then uh, I was able, or I have the capability or the ability, or I have the time to meet people. It's because one of the purposes that I have is to have a exchange culture experience. What I mean exchange culture, even with the talks, I learned something from it.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have to immerse myself to get to different
Yeah.
countries, but with the couch surfing, with the thing that we
Yeah.
meet people, I learned a lot when it comes to culture, and not just
Yeah.
only culture. I always love to learn philosophies,
Yeah.
beliefs in life, because when I learn something from that person, I apply it to myself, and it really works. Sometimes it does not, but again, we can get good thing
Yeah.
in exchanging experiences, in exchanging philosophies in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it comes to management of time, hear me. One of our weakest attitude or thing that we can't control is consistency. We are not consistent with the things that we have. And that is one thing that we want to achieve in life. So that's one thing that I really want to wish to achieve. Because in order for you to become successful, you have to be consistent with the
Yeah.
thing that you are
It's
doing.
one of my number one rules for myself in life, and you know how important consistency is for me. Like, man, like there's like people sometimes. Sorry, I had to like jump in, but like sometimes there's people who are they act in the nicest way possible. They would like give me many things or give me a lot of attention, be super friendly, but then another day they would be like the opposite or inconsistent, like
Yes.
and inconsistency with inconsistency you cannot plan or make business even. So it's a golden part of my life. But yeah, that was just a quick jump in.
Yeah. So that is one of my struggles, but I am still working on
Yeah,
it because like as what I said, in order for you to achieve something in life, you have to be consistent. And of course, it's personal discipline. Yeah,
yeah,
it always boils down to character.
yeah, yeah. So, but like to come back, I like digging in deep. Come back to the topic of relaxing. So, wouldn't you say so? You don't go out and get an ice cream or go to a small lake somewhere or go for a jog. I don't know. Is there also another secret that like with the planning, what relaxes you, what
Ah,
gets you down?
okay.
I mean, like you have to, or is it the social cause, your passion? Is it giving you back the energy basically, even though you're working on Saturday?
Actually, I always ask myself if I am still happy with
Mm,
what I am doing. Again, I always ask myself that the reason
yeah,
why I have started these
yeah,
causes, I've started this kind of project,
yeah,
and just to keep myself motivated and release myself from stresses,
yeah,
I just go home and then get a good sleep and then take care of my pets, like my cats. And sometimes I go, I travel
mm,
solo. I prefer sometimes to travel solo or to have someone in traveling someone who does not have a like scheduled plan to travel,
yeah,
because I don't want that kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
trip that for this day we go to
yeah,
this
yeah,
one area and then the next day we have to go to this place.
yeah, yeah,
I want like just to chill and relax,
yeah, yeah,
because I have this like I do this every year. Like I go to places like for 5 days stay there,
yeah,
just chill, just
yeah,
be with myself and read books.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one
Five
thing.
days.
Yeah.
Uh,
And one
w-
thing that really helps you to grow, for me personally,
mm,
you have to read books.
which books do you read?
Yeah. So I know it's a well-known author, because I know that we have these great
Yeah.
mentors, right? Do you have a personal mentor?
Not directly. I mean, my mentors are across social media. Those quotes that you can read.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So we can just only have mentor physically,
Yeah,
but we have books. Books authors are also our mentors.
yeah,
So I read leadership books by John Maxwell. So I have
yeah,
read
yeah,
four of his books. Again, talent is never enough. That's
yeah,
where I can get that. It's always important to have a good character, because if you have a good character, no one can stops you from doing something that you are passionate about.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it reminded me, man, my couchsurfing host that I'm staying with, he was telling me he's gonna go. I think he said 10 days to a silent meditation time. Like he's basically saying he's not gonna interact with like social media, or he's not even gonna talk probably too much. He was saying. That's crazy, but like I really respect people who take time to do it. I'm myself, I'm always on the phone. No secret of that. But everyone else also on the streets. Just like one day ago, I was like sitting in a fast food chain that everyone knows, like, and like there was a family sitting, like an older man and like his kid and some other people at the table. Everyone was on the phone, man. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
in the
really
Philippines.
this is for me the prime example of what the capitalist system can do to you. I mean, I'm like I'm not making a complete criticism towards capitalism because I think it has its upsides. It's like highly effective in motivating people to go out and try to reach their potentials. But there's also some criticism from me in that regard that like everything is convenient, everything is one click away. You're constantly on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all other known brands, and your food is quick, your school is quick, everything is quick. This is like my criticism about this is there. That's what I mean. But yeah, no, I really appreciate people who take time to reflect or meditate, who just take it slow, because I also strive to do that more. I'm not gonna be able to go 10 days for a silent retreat, but I'm working on myself in that regard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we talked about how you relax, how you take a break, read books. Let me think. So I wanted to follow up with, like, you said 11 siblings.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy. Like, how is it growing up with 11 siblings? Come on, I know you have some stories, and I know you're not gonna talk shit about any one of them because eventually they might hear this, but like,
yeah. So every year, my mom has every year my mom gave birth. Just like there's a
yeah,
1 year gap.
yeah,
The longest gap is 2 years.
yeah, okay,
Okay, so biologically, I have with both parents,
yeah,
I have 10 siblings,
yeah,
9 siblings, and then with my mom,
yeah,
he had two.
yeah,
So all in all, we're 12.
yeah,
All in all, we're 12. Okay, so it's a big family. Actually, it's very challenging because we were very, very poor. When I say very,
mm,
very poor, sometimes you never had this dinner. You just only have one meal in a day.
yeah,
And that meal is like you just had to eat root crops, like let's say potato,
yeah,
just for a day.
yeah.
That's for your
Same,
sweet potato.
same with my parents' time, man. They keep telling me again and again. Sometimes they said they didn't have meat for 1 week or 2 weeks. Like they were eating the same thing. Sometimes I don't know if it was potato or rice or bread with some um, veggie stuff, but like they were also in that kind of situation. And maybe many people in many countries were, but continue.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
here in the Philippines before, we didn't have this family planning.
yeah,
So my mom and my parents
mm,
didn't think about it. But
mm,
for me, I really appreciate to have this kind of big family.
yeah,
It also helps me to to have this joy in my
mm,
in my life because I get to encounter
yeah,
with the lives that with the siblings,
yeah,
with the lives of my siblings. Actually, I helped out my siblings to go abroad,
yeah.
even though I was the youngest
Mm.
one. I'm the 11th child, the youngest one.
This would have been my next question, but it's amazing what you're doing. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm the 11th child.
yeah,
So I was able to help my three siblings to work abroad.
yeah,
So my one sister is in America. He just finished third grade in the Philippines, but she was able to get to the U.S.
yeah,
because first I helped her out to plan out things in life,
mm,
and then I have two siblings in Korea.
yeah,
Okay, one is a Korean citizen, and in America,
mm,
she's already American citizen,
yeah,
and then my mom is my sisters with my sisters now in Korea. So my mom just went there to have a vacation,
yeah,
and that was my wish for my mom to travel abroad,
yeah,
not as overseas Filipino worker, but
yeah,
a tourist to stay for have a good vacation. And with my other siblings, so they work in the remote
yeah,
places
yeah,
here in the Philippines in our province, and still we are having this struggle in life. But then we are continuing. We're not that very very poor now.
Yeah.
we were able to survive
Yeah.
in life. So I'm very happy with I'm very happy, somehow contented, but I'm still striving for
Yeah.
better.
So all of you, in how many countries are you now? How many different? You like Philippines, US, Korea, and
What again? Sorry,
like all your siblings and including you. In how many different countries?
I just two. Yeah, my sister is in the US. My two sisters
In,
in Korea,
yeah.
and my mom is there.
Yeah.
So my other sister who was in Korea is
Yeah.
now in Cebu here in the Philippines.
Ah, okay.
He just came.
Yeah.
And then with my other siblings,
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
other siblings. One is a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the three other siblings, or four
Yeah.
other siblings, they work in the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, one has a small business,
Mm.
it's which is the online selling,
Yeah.
and then my other sibling has a furniture business,
Yeah.
but it does not. He doesn't earn so much money because it's a small one,
Yeah.
and still struggling financially.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other one works in near in the
Mm.
like in the
Mm.
mountains, but we are still they're all surviving. But
Yeah.
we in general, half of my siblings are still struggling financially. There's no
Yeah.
financial freedom at all.
Even though they're like abroad. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
With the half of my siblings, half of
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
siblings.
Okay. But like the one in Korea and US, they're
Yeah,
doing okay. Yeah.
they're
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
okay. They don't like need to
Are they
to
still
go
like trying to convince the rest of the siblings to move there or not?
because it's really different.
Mm.
It's not easy because if
Yeah.
you are in a developing country like the Philippines,
Yeah.
it's difficult to get a working visa,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if you don't have a degree because we did not all finish education.
Yeah. Even a travel visa.
Yeah, even a travel visa. Okay,
Yeah.
just imagine
Yeah.
only four of us were able to finish a degree
Yeah.
because we were very very poor.
So how did you help your siblings that went abroad? Did you help them with like preparing them with English language, or did you do the
Okay,
organizational
you'll
stuff?
get
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one is a crazy thing that I did to my
Yeah.
siblings. Okay, since I had this friend in my work,
Yeah.
and someone, a Korean citizen, was looking for someone to get married. So of course I have lots of siblings. So I introduced my sister, and then my sister got married to that Korean guy.
Man, this guy is a genius matchmaker here.
Yeah, so I know to myself that that Korean guy will be a passport for my sister.
Mm. And so how long have they
But
been together now?
so they've been together for 2 years,
Yeah.
and then they got divorced because
Ah.
the guy was physically hitting my sister.
Oh.
Physically hitting. So he was
Yeah,
my
yeah,
sister
yeah.
was physically abused. So I was the one who filed the case. So
Yeah,
I was the
yeah,
one who
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
the case for my sister to get divorced.
Okay.
And then my sister, the time when she got
Mm.
pregnant, I told her to invite my other sibling to take care of her son.
Yeah.
So that's one way of having a passport again. Going to South Korea.
Man.
That girl,
Yeah.
my sibling, the girl, she just finished third grade
Yeah.
in elementary
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
Now she's in the US. I told her to marry an American guy.
I hope everything he says here is legal. I hope.
Yeah, of course, because it's um it's um it's uh,
It's no secret,
free.
probably. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's all
people are, yeah.
legal.
But like, I mean, it's the good and the bad. You help them abroad, but like, isn't your like sister who got divorced like putting you any blames, or is she
I
still
know.
happy about it? Like,
Actually, all of my siblings who are in abroad, they're thankful to me
yeah,
because of that idea, they were able because you have to look for ways. You have to be smart. You have to be wise.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the term. You have to be wise in life. Okay, so it's an opportunity where you can help your family.
Yeah,
Okay, you're not taking advantage of that,
yeah.
but then again, it's an opportunity because we are in a situation wherein I have to look for ways where we
Yeah.
can manage this
It's
situation.
about survival. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and then after that, when my sibling, who was invited my sister in Korea
Mm.
to go there, I told her if there's a chance someone will court you, make it sure it's a foreigner
Mm.
because I know that it's easy for you to be permanent in that area. So when there is someone courts her, she always asks if it's okay or not. So I was the one who going to decide for my siblings if they're okay or not.
So you were basically swiping through her dating apps.
No, not dating app. They will just show. Okay, they will just give me the profile.
Okay,
Okay, here's
okay.
the profile. Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
So and then my sister will get married to an American
Yeah.
citizen, who a military
Yeah,
officer. They got divorced after he was mentally abused. Mentally,
the guy was mentally abused.
the guy,
Your
my
sister,
sister
yeah.
was abused mentally because I cannot blame the guy because the guy has this post-traumatic syndrome.
Yeah.
So my sister became the victim of the effect of that. I feel sorry about it
But how did that manifest, that post-traumatic
because it
things?
changes with the atmosphere,
Do
with
people
attitude.
overreact or what? I mean, I'm
Like,
trying to see.
my sister told me that the guy always blames my sister with something
Yeah,
random,
yeah,
with
okay.
random things. So I cannot blame the guy. I feel bad about the guy,
Yeah.
but I also feel bad about my sister. So
maybe,
my sister
yeah.
decided to. The guy actually decided, and so my sister
Yeah.
agreed because it did not work out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my sister went to the Philippines, came to the Philippines, and then decided to continue her journey to the US. So they got divorced. So he has 1 year
Yeah.
for her visa. So she decided during pandemic, it was very,
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah.
My sister was very independent person,
Yeah.
has this very adventurous
Yeah.
because he really wants to make his life good, even
Yeah.
though he was in a miserable situation. He decided to travel in the US,
Yeah.
even she was divorced,
Yeah.
and then her visa was almost expired.
Yeah.
So the immigration told her,
Yeah.
you can't stay longer in the US because your visa will get divorced or will get expired.
Yeah.
And then my sister decided to stay in the US.
Yeah.
And then she met a guy.
Yeah.
And then she get married. And then because my sister dreamed to have a child, it was her dream. And then she got miscarriage at 8 times. Miscarriage at 8 times. How difficult was that?
Okay.
And then now she has a baby, her baby.
That's a
And then
miracle, man.
yeah, and then she applied for American citizenship.
Yeah.
My sister has a difficulty with the language. What she did, she memorized all the questions for the American citizenship
Yeah, yeah,
examination. She's very, very wise.
Yeah.
Just to tell you honestly, before she passed the driving international license, he had to take like hundreds of examinations in order for her to pass.
Yeah, yeah.
So now she's in America and she's really okay. She's
okay.
working. And then my one sister who followed my other sister
Yeah.
who went to Korea, she stayed with my sister because my sibling in Korea got pregnant again.
Yeah.
So I told her to invite my other sister to take care of our niece.
I didn't know you could even do this. I mean, what do the people say? Like, I'm working full time. I cannot take care of my child, so I'm gonna have my sister or brother.
Because
take
my
care?
sister is a single woman, is a
Yeah.
single mother. So Korea allows that
Okay.
to take care. It's really difficult for my sister.
Yeah.
So I asked my sister to take care. My sister asked my other sibling to take care of her daughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, they decided that it was fine.
Yeah.
And then actually it's not illegal, it's legal.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's in a good way of, helping your
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah.
So my sister went to Korea and then my sister get married to American
Yeah.
in Korea. Because there is an American base,
Yeah.
military base in in Korea.
And how do you guys always find the military people?
I don't know. Because they are near in the military base.
Okay.
Because they
Yeah,
live near in the military base.
It's more affordable in those areas, or what, residential? or-
I don't know.
Yeah,
Expensive
okay,
also.
yeah, okay.
And then I'm so happy recently with the great news that my mom was approved with the visa
Yeah.
to have a vacation in Korea.
Yeah.
Everything that I shared about my family members, it's all about survival.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't
I-
aim for to have a luxurious
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Up until now, we're still financially struggling, but then we're happy that we're able to
Yeah,
survive.
like I really appreciate your honesty here. Like,
Yeah.
side note, totally respect that. And yeah, so It's about survival.
And one thing that you always have to remember, you just have to have a clear conscience with your decisions.
Yeah.
Because when you take advantage of a person, it does not make you a better person. Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, I was just reading something on the phone about this episode, but it's all good. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
continue.
One of the secrets in life, in order for you to have this free life that you can enjoy, you just have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah,
You just have to have a clear conscience. And above all, spread kindness.
yeah.
Because kindness is rooted to love. So once you always think of others, you won't do something bad to others.
Yeah. Man, thanks for the word for this section here. So we talked about your profession, family, great insights. I want to jump to more random things also. What I observed, like my first impressions here in the Philippines, man, it's crazy. I'm traveling Asia right now, as I told at the beginning of the episode, and I'm curious to learn the local cultures. For me, it's not important if I see a white beach on my own. It's like I could be sitting at home and watching TV. It would be not the same, but almost the same for me if I don't meet local people. This is why I'm sitting here with you. But coming to the Philippines, it gave me like definitely some Spanish Latin vibes, also like Latin American vibes. I didn't know that the Philippines was colonized by Spain for how long?
300,
like
almost 400 years.
almost 400 years, man. Like imagine that. I want to ask something super random. I guess you're gonna laugh about it, but like the past 2 days, like I've seen so many men on the streets, like pulling up their shirts and like having their just like their bellies open, like airing their bellies. Basically, I haven't seen this too much in Vietnam, or I haven't seen it when I was traveling in Bali. Like, is there any specific reason? Like, is it something that gets you luck, or is it like a sexy macho attitude, or is it because it's just hot for those guys? Like,
Yeah, in the Philippines, once you put off your shirt, or like you curl your shirt, or you clip your shirt and show your tummy, it does not have a connection when it comes to culture, but because the weather is so hot.
yeah.
So usually they do that. It makes them more comfortable.
Yeah, but it's funny because I haven't seen it
Yeah.
in Vietnam or Bali, so some things are still more
Yeah,
common.
it's
and
unique
some,
here. It does not imply anything
Yeah.
or what. It just shows that it's very hot, so they
Yeah.
just want to. They feel comfortable with that kind
Yeah.
of um,
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, okay. So talking about Spain, like, and we have to be mindful of the time. We shouldn't go over 60 minutes. This is what my notification was about. So where would you say, after almost 400 years, like, where nowadays are the biggest, where is the biggest legacy of the Spanish times in Filipino culture, and what's Filipino culture to you? I mean, these are very two big questions.
Yeah.
I know, but maybe you can make a summary introduction, and if this today's episode is not enough, I will have to do a second one with you somehow.
Yeah, since we were colonized for almost 400 years in the Philippines by Spain, actually one of the culture that we inherited is a colonial mentality, that we tend to love buy things not in the Philippines, like we love trending items,
Trading,
trend items,
trend items, okay.
yeah, trendy or
Yeah,
trend
yeah.
items. And since with the positive culture that we get is we get to get around with different people,
Yeah.
we mingle with different people, we have this happy culture,
Yeah.
that there are a lot of parties, get together parties, and then there's one lechon. If you're familiar with lechon, it's a pig, it's a roasted pig, yeah, with an apple in the tongue,
Yeah.
in the mouth.
Yeah, I only saw it on TV,
Yeah.
man.
So that's one of the cultures that we get from Spaniards, and what keeps us different from this culture is that I think Filipinos, when it comes to being family oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are a close family relationship.
Yeah.
So we tend, even though there's a quite influence with with this colonizers, but
Yeah.
still we stand up with being close to our family members.
Yeah.
If despite being poor, despite struggling when it comes to
Yeah.
finances, as long as we stay together, we are happy. It's one of the
Yeah.
cultures that we have in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah.
And what else?
So what would you say, like one of the Spanish legacies was like the dinner mentality with the big meals and pigs, like trying to reflect on what you said. You know what I mean? Like, is there areas in life where you can clearly say, hey, this is because the Spanish ruled here for some time? Or are the border lines, are they like more gray areas where you cannot clearly tell anymore, okay, what's exactly Spanish culture and what's Filipino culture? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. When it comes to Spanish culture, I think is there are a lot of things that come to my mind when it comes to it's a very
Yeah,
difficult question
I
actually
know, I know.
because we are now mix of
Yeah,
everything. Okay. When it comes to mentality,
yeah,
okay, so we have this ningas kugon. When I say ningas kugon, is that sometimes I don't know if it's Spaniards influence mentality,
yeah,
but I'm not sure with that. Let's
yeah.
get out of that idea
Okay,
because I'm not really sure.
yeah.
Um, I don't
I
know.
mean, you don't have to have a clear answer. I ask tricky questions sometimes. So it's like if you like don't know exactly, it's also a fine answer. I accept, and maybe like on another episode we can.
It's the
Yeah,
manana habit actually. It's
what
manana habit. I think that's a
what
culture that we.
what's manana habit?
I am not sure with the definition of the manana habit, but one thing for sure that we have that I said
Yeah,
earlier is the colonial mentality that
yeah.
we love things from other countries.
Ah, okay.
That's the colonial mentality
Yeah,
that sets us apart from the Filipino culture.
yeah,
Okay. And then with the Filipino culture that I would say it's being patriotic. You know what's patriotic?
yeah. But like, what do you mean? I don't get what
That
you.
we want to die for our countries. For our
Yeah.
country.
So you think it's a Spanish legacy also?
No,
No,
it's a
no.
Filipino.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, I get that part. Yeah, I get that part. So,
Actually, that's impromptu question which challenged me, huh?
yeah, no, like I'm good at asking questions.
Yeah, yeah,
Tricky
that's
one.
good. That's good.
This is why we have the episode and podcast. Let me think. I definitely wanted to ask something else, and time is running. So, maybe let's switch. But now, like fast last question about this topic. But surprisingly, not many people are learning Spanish here, right?
I'm sorry.
Like, not many people are learning Spanish.
Yeah, because our country now is being influenced with the international culture.
Yeah.
With like for example, most of the Filipinos in the
Mm,
Philippines speak English.
yeah.
When it comes to Spanish, it's like a dying culture. Not everyone with the words that we use
You mean
somehow
you mean
influenced
yeah,
by Spain. Like for
yeah.
example,
You mean but by dying culture you mean for like Philippines
yeah,
yeah.
because most of the next generation kids
Yeah.
they don't speak Spanish. So with the old ones, they
Mm,
still have like a little Spanish,
yeah.
but with the term
Yeah.
we have like the regular term. Like for example, la mesa.
Yeah.
La mesa is a Spanish term
Yeah.
where we up until now use it. But when it comes to speaking
Yeah.
Spanish, we don't
So
practice.
but your language is well, it's definitely different than Spanish, right? This is also what I wanted to ask. It's closer to Indonesian or Malaysian or no?
Malay.
Malay, yeah.
Yes.
Which is similar to what's spoken on Indonesia, right? Correct me
Correct.
if I'm wrong. Yeah, okay, those are interesting insights. Time is running, man. Like another question, I'm throwing it out. I've noticed that I feel like religion plays a big part here, like in Philippines. Like when I go into buildings or corridors within buildings, like first time in my life when I was in a building in the corridor, I saw like Holy Maria statue, like. Like I
Yeah,
never saw this before in
that's
any
a good
country. And my
question.
host, my couchsurfing host, he has like some Christian things in his rooms, like
That's one of the top influence by Spain to the
Ah,
Philippines. The
okay,
religion,
yeah,
Christianity.
yeah, and it still plays a major role, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's our belief.
Yeah, and it was mainly Catholic, right? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay,
And
yeah,
then with the Spain, with the Americans
yeah,
after Spain, we were
yeah,
influenced by
yeah,
Americans. Now we have this Baptist.
yeah,
It's the anti-Catholic.
yeah,
So it's a
yeah,
Christian
yeah,
group.
yeah.
We call it I
Protestants or
Protestants. Yeah,
So, but like most churches I've seen, and there's like amazing churches in terms of architecture. Uh,
built
I forgot the name, but like they were like mostly Catholic Spanish, right?
correct, built
Okay.
for almost more than 300
Okay,
years.
man, like I really enjoyed this episode, but we've come to an end of this episode already. We're almost reaching 60 minutes.
Can I share my disclaimer
I
with this one?
I just want to give you, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give you the last
Disclaimer
word.
to those Filipinos who maybe listen to this podcast. Disclaimer: with the exchange culture or with the cultures that I'm not sure with Spain's with differences
Yeah.
with the Filipinos, you can correct me. Okay, I'm not really sure 100%.
I mean, it's good that you said, but it's also always subjective experiences.
Yes.
Not everyone has the same experience. I think most people are thankful for the insights they're getting from this episode. And then, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Keep following, and see you guys next time.